This is going to be fun.
Subscribe today, Tommy, if you love movies.
Hey, look at boobies! I like movies. Hey, Cinema Gulp, where are ya? Help!
Hey, take it easy.
But I lost Cinema Gulp.
Stay calm. Just go to YouTube to subscribe and hit the bell for all the latest videos.
Hey, we're Cinema Gulp and we drink your cinema.
Thanks, Joe. Now I can subscribe.
And subscribing is half the battle.
You know what? You don't have an answer for that, do you? You, man. I'm sorry.
I like beer. It makes me a jolly good fellow.
Hey, remember when
Hey. Hey there, you cool cats. You crazy. Oh, I almost said the F word. Don't do it, Ben. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't ruin
We
it.
must hold ourselves for 10 minutes. I guess that's the rule. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Triple H here on Cinema Gulp. That's Hump Day Happy Hour, if you consider Hump Day 2 words, which we do here with our co-hosts.
One.
It's the Ayatollah Flack Coca-Cola, the Matt Dillon of Matt Damon's. It's Scotty R37.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, this is a blast. This is a blast. And, you know, she's been gone for a little bit. She's got some, what do they call it? Mother Nature issues in the world that kept her from climbing that rope and getting over here.
Hurricane Milton, no big deal.
Yes, Milton. To Milton. It's Elvirus, the Princess of Pain and Pomeranians. Hey.
That's right. Cheers.
Very nice to have you back. Yeah, cheers. Cheers, guys. Cheers, guys. What are we drinking? PBR, Joanne?
This is grape poppy soda mixed with Dirty Devil vodka.
Gosh, she always has the coolest stuff.
She's classy.
I have Sky vodka and tonic. Or not tonic. Not tonic, but sparkling water.
Yeah.
I have bathtub gin in recycled PBR cans.
All
I
right.
am a hobo from the 1930s.
Let's say hello. Who is here? Oh, okay. Well, right now it's let's see. Movie Malice says Royale with cheese.
Yes.
That's right.
And DJ Play Nice says thanks for hosting. Well, thank you. Scotty.
Hey, DJ.
Smoke a vinyl and okay. Hey. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we're starting off on a good note. Hey, I don't want to announce this yet. Well, why not? What the hell? Don't look now, guys, but when you look to your right, when you post a comment, there's a little dollar sign on there now. It's called
Oh, there is.
called the super chat. It's called the super chat. That's all joking aside, we will never ask or expect for one, but the option was there, so we took it. Most likely John and I will probably just be super chatting ourselves so that when we spend $2 we get 16 cents back on that. But whatever we do get, I've already made this promise that whatever we get in the next 12 months is going to go to a short horror film that we finally want to make and shoot next fall. So if we make $15 in the next 12 months on Super Chats, that $15 will go to our coffee for the first morning of shooting. So we're very happy about that.
It's not the entire budget for the film.
No, it's not. It's not. Well, it's good to see everybody back. The trio is here. Let's get in some box office. Why not? Because this box office is going to lead into kind of the smaller story. So Terrifier 3,
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it. I've seen the second one. It's pretty gross. I heard the
Yeah, me
first one is
too.
pretty gnarly and disturbing and offensive. I heard the third one is the same. But it's Halloween time, so off its tiny, tiny budget, it took #1 at the box office, crushed the Joker down back to Arkham. Wild Robot stayed in second, but Terrifier 3 made $23 million. That's freaking insane for a movie that I don't know how really got made in today's movie climate with, from what I hear about some of these kills and some of the things that happen in the movie. Wild Robot, I still want to see. It's doing well. I'm happy for it. But Joker in its second week dropped 80%. 80%.
And I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah, same
That
here.
is nuts, dude. 80%. That's like got to be some kind of record. Beetlejuice is still hanging around in 4. Beetlejuice might get a slight resurgence because of Halloween, but it looks like it's not really. It's just kind of hanging around. Saturday,
Well,
I think
it's
Saturday,
already such a success.
It is. It really is. And Saturday night, I guess, is like about the first year of SNL or something.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I want to see that.
Me too.
I'll wait for streaming for
Yeah,
sure because it looks like a
that's-
streaming movie.
There are
But-
3 movies that are on my list. One of them is The Substance. The other is Joker 2. And the third is Saturday Night.
I mean, I've only seen The Substance out of those, but I can pretty much guarantee that's going to be the best one out of them. It's
The
amazing.
Substance is the best one.
It's amazing.
The
Yes.
Substance is,
Yeah.
is absolutely incredible. And I have to throw some thunderous applause because we just got our first ever super chat
Oh,
Hey!
yes!
from DJ Play Nice, our boy. You know what? Here's
Wow.
to you. Cheers.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking yeah, man. You know what DJ Play Nice needs? He needs Gregory Hines.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Gregory Hines?
It's pretty awesome, yeah. You know what? That means a lot, man. That actually will always be the first one ever amongst who cares how many, but that's a lot. That's amazing. DJ Play Nice has always been so cool, like sharing our stuff and coming on and talking. I love the one time when we were called Thirsty Thursdays, where we had like a 5-hour stream and he brought on all these people on the show. Still our highest viewed stream, live stream. So that was really cool. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. I will keep the change. Thank you. You have to say that now. Like if you're giving cash, people don't even know how to make change.
No.
Because they're just not used to cash anymore. I've been in taxis in Vegas and I had one on the slots. So I had like 20s and 50s. And I like if I went someplace and it cost $9, I'd be like, hand him a 20 and go, keep the change. Because you probably don't have the freaking change. I came close on that one. But yeah,
I do very much enjoy it because I'm Canadian whenever I can get a nickel back.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, you got to take that photograph.
Yes.
You got to take that photograph.
Well, a hero can save us.
If today was your last day,
Okay, let's quit it.
We know too much Nickelback.
We
Scotty.
do a little too much.
Well, me and Joanne, Brian, our friend, looks like when he had long hair. Look, we used to call him that guy because he looked just like the Nickelback singer. Box office is kind of pretty much predictable right now. 100% guaranteed this week will go to Smile 2 because the first one did well, and I'm hearing this one far exceeds the quality of the first one because I thought the first one was kind of a lame It Follows ripoff. That was predictable and wasn't scary. There's a lot of people calling this the best horror movie of the year, and I'm like, wow, I'm surprised.
Okay.
So maybe that's clever marketing. I guess we'll find out. But but we'll see. Yeah, I predict that Smile 2 has something like $40 to $45 million weekend, maybe. Which sounds like a lot, but the first one did really good. Got hundreds of millions of dollars. So, and it's only 2 years since the first one. That's a nice little easy turnaround to keep the momentum going. You know, if you wait
Yeah.
too long, then it, well, Beetlejuice, 35 years is doing just fine.
Yeah.
But okay,
So
I
when-
want to slip it. Yeah, sorry, Joanne, go ahead.
It's okay. I'm just curious because I actually never saw It Follows. Still, I know it's on my list, but when I saw Smile, I liked it, and I'm curious. I know your face. I'm sorry. I will see it. Don't worry. I've just been a little scared. But with Smile, I'm just curious. Is that the only reason that you didn't really like it? Is 'cause you
No,
thought-
it was predictable and it wasn't scary. I did like the gore, and I liked that it was R-rated and kind of ballsy in a world of like PG-13 horror movies. It
Yeah.
was pretty brutal. I just knew where it was going, and the ending kind of messed up its own rules as far as, oh, here we go. We're just in a house and there's a monster now. We have to set it on fire. And you're like, oh, what? Like, it's so much more interesting. Like, you got to watch It Follows, because It Follows doesn't go to that point.
Yeah.
It stays very low key the whole way through. It keeps it thought provoking instead of giving you answers. You know?
Yeah.
And
I've
some
been,
people don't like that. Some people want the
Right.
answers. They want the climactic ending at a house where the girl's got to save the little kids, and then they got to set something on fire and say, adios, mother effer, and like throw a flare and it kills the demon, and then no one smiles anymore or whatever.
Yeah, it follows was one I was only avoiding because I was scared. I did the same thing with Hereditary, but I finally watched Hereditary last year, and yes, it was scary.
Hereditary has some scenes that will stick with you when you try to go to sleep.
Yes, and that's my biggest fear with any horror film, because I'm not afraid of all types of horror films. There's just a certain type, and yeah, the ones that keep you up at night. That's what's scary to me.
Yeah. No, well, I say still give It Follows a chance, because it may or may not scare you at all. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
But anyway, oh, hey, 10 people watching. Thank you, everybody. Oh, we got some more chats here. Hey, it's my boy RT. Represent this. Hello, CG. New thumbnail is in your. You're the man. You're the man. I got something cooking with Represent This. I don't want to spoil it, but we got something going on. Best QT film was Jackie Brown. Oh, I knew I loved Represent This.
RT, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this.
We are. Yeah. Oh, I thought I'm paving the way for you, sir. Okay, let's get.
Oh, you want me to talk about it now?
No,
I thought we were going to talk about it later. We got.
Hey,
John.
John says you won't be scared by it.
No. Okay. Thank you for telling me.
I was when I first saw it, but now it's been out for so long. Maybe times have changed.
Tense, but I don't think it's scary.
It's creepy. It's
creepy, but it's not. You're not.
There's no jump scares in it. It's one of those movies that sticks with you later, where like you see something in the movie and then
I'm scared.
That's what I mean. And then you think there's something around that you see in the movie. That's what I mean.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to.
I was in the dairy aisle at the grocery store.
I guess John.
And I was like, "What?"
It follows. No. He says maybe bored. I don't think he'd be bored. Whoa!
That person who's
following
me wants to give me AIDS.
Joanne, read the super chat from our good friend Jill, Anti-Derivative Jill.
It says $10.
That's all.
I'm otherwise occupied, but I wanted to say congratulations on getting monetized. I love Pulp Fiction, but Reservoir Dogs is my favorite. I want to see it as a stage play.
You just might. When QT finishes his run of films, he's been talking about turning several of them into stage plays and creating some new stage plays. Reservoir Dogs would be the one. I mean, that is a stage play, as is Hateful Eight, pretty much.
Okay, so you be Mr. White, I'll be Mr. Orange, and then Joanne can be Mr. Pink.
I need the script. I need the script in front of me. I need the script.
Oh yeah, of course. We're not professionals.
I'll be Mr. Pink, even though Mr. Pink sounds like Mr. Pussy.
Yeah.
Black Phillip is here. You want to read that one,
Phil.
Scotty, sir?
Black Phillip Alvarez in the chat says, I thought Smile was very much like It Follows, but we already got a sequel. I liked Smile and saw it with a good friend of mine. Well,
that can make a difference.
yeah, that makes the difference in the world. But yeah, apparently there is going to be a in It Follows sequel. I heard
Yeah,
that
it's
there
called
was
They
going to be a
Follow.
follow-up.
Yeah, they're filming it next year.
Ah,
But Jill, really quickly, guys, let's give a cheers to Anti-Derivative Jill.
Oh,
yes.
for sure.
Thank you so much. You guys are the greatest. I remember when she first got her super chats, I did the same for her. So God bless you. God bless you, my sweet lady. Let's see. Okay, we got a couple other. So let's get into our first kind of topic, which is going to segue from the box office, and I want to bring up this because this is really strange. Like, Warner Brothers has taken a bath on so many things. Like, they're not making the best choices the last decade.
You want to drop the chat?
Losing thanks. Losing money on things like the Justice League for how much they spent on it, all kinds of stuff. And then that Joker 1 movie, as we talked about it last week, I think made so much money, but they spread it out to all these investors, so they didn't make shit on it. Well, now Joker 2 digital release date set after Filet Mignon flops at the box office. The world is a stage, but Joker and Harley are ending their exclusive theatrical run earlier than expected. The Joker 2 digital release has been set for October.
Wow.
Oh my God. Like, that is a $200 million budget movie.
Oof.
Makes nothing at the box office and goes straight to streaming, where I'm guessing people may or may not even check it out. Maybe Scotty, because people are now just curious about how bad it is.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't seen it.
I'm gonna watch
I don't
it.
think it's bad.
Well, you haven't seen it either, so
No, I haven't seen it, but I don't think it's bad. I think that the general consensus of Joker, Folie à Deux, is that the first movie, everyone went to go see it. I think it was a movie of its time. It was almost a troll unto itself.
sure.
It was a Joker movie without being a Batman movie. And how can you have a Joker movie? As I mentioned last time on this particular program, how can it be a Joker movie without Batman? And it wasn't a Joker movie. It was just a movie about a crazy person. And it was more referencing successful movies of the past, like heralded movies. And I think it did a good service in terms of sort of pointing back at Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. And that's what that movie ended up being. But it was not a superhero movie. It was not a Joker movie.
It wasn't even a comic book movie.
It wasn't even a comic book movie.
Well, it wasn't written as one.
Exactly. And that's why it made so much money, is because it was a curiosity. It was something that was
good. It was good.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Great movie.
With great performances, like masterclass performance.
And I think that the sequel is like, okay, so Batman is not going to be in it. Everyone knows this. And it's like, okay, fuck it. Everyone thought Batman was going to be in the second one, and he wasn't. It was never teased. I think that it went in a completely different direction. I know it is a box office flop, but I think it will be looked back upon more fondly than the people who are looking at it right now. Because
you might be right. That happens a lot.
The first movie was not a comic book movie, and everyone got mad at that. And now the second one is not a comic book movie, and everyone is getting mad at that. And they're just not seeing it.
I don't think that's why people are mad at the second one. I think they're mad at it.
Why do you think so?
Well, I don't want to say, because, again, I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. I
know, but speculation
is that it kind of ruins everything that the first movie created and had going for it as far as character arc goes and story development goes. It kind of goes backwards and ruins that whole thing. I haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil it.
I heard it reinforced it.
No, I heard it
reinforced the first film.
All right. Well, I don't know. Again, we're two people arguing about a movie that neither of us have seen. So
I know, but
I
that's
think
what we
Joanne
like
wants
to
to
call the internet in 2024. You don't have to see a movie to review it.
That's
you
true.
just have
Like,
to be very, very angry.
X Twitter is basically people arguing about things they know nothing about. So,
Exactly.
Joanne,
I-
But I'm curious.
Joanne,
Are you curious?
The thing in your background, Joanne, looks like it looks like you have a giant microphone like right up to your face.
see that.
But what were you going to say, Joanne? I know you're chomping at the bit a little bit.
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you think any? I haven't really read much about it because I don't want to spoil anything for myself. But I do know it's a musical. Do you think it has anything to do with that or nothing to do? With
I've heard it's really not much of a musical at all.
Oh.
Like it's just kind of crappy people singing to themselves, but with no real musical numbers. you
Well,
know?
Well, maybe
no.
that's part of the problem.
No, I don't think that I haven't heard that. I've heard that the musical numbers are grandiose, but they sort of bring the plot to a standstill.
Because musical numbers and musicals are supposed to be part of the plot and advance the story, and I guess they don't do that. But again, I don't know.
That's what I heard.
All I know is Joker 2 did so shitty that it's going out to digital release in October, the same month that it came out in theaters, where the original Joker movie stayed in theaters for months because of how famous and popular and
do you want to check out the soundtrack?
The soundtrack? What do you mean? Of the Joker?
Well, from what I understand,
I don't want to bore the audience.
Well, no, no more than Joker 2 will. No, but what I'm saying is that like there is a soundtrack listing, and from what I understand, it is a jukebox musical. So it's all just covers and whatnot.
Anything
there
Warner
may be
Brothers,
some
I
originals.
do not want to play. Anything Warner Brothers, I do not.
I'm not playing it. I just want to read it.
Okay, well, yeah, well, you are more than welcome to do that, sir.
Slap that bass. Get happy.
That's a name. That's
what
a name
the world needs now. So Burt Bacharach, Nick Cave, George Gershwin. So that's good. For once in my life, I need someone who needs me. So that's a good song. Bewitched. That's a good song. That's Entertainment. That's a good song. To Love Somebody by the Gibb Brothers. That's a good song. Like, I don't understand.
Are there any songs from
Gregory Hines? No, he was primarily a tap dancer.
Just making sure.
But no, but I'm just saying, like, I've heard that it is sort of distracting when these songs show up. But
yeah, I mean, no, I've heard the exact same thing, so we can agree on that for sure.
Well, I guess we'll have to see it.
Yep, I still want to see it, but I think I'm going to see Terrifier.
Yeah,
first.
yeah. Oh, Joanne, check it out and let me know because I'm kind of. I mean, I want to see it, but I hear it's like 2.5 hours long, so I'm like, huh. Can I stomach that much? How much popcorn will I throw up? Well, yeah. Okay. Well, that's Joker 2 news is basically it's like dead in the water. Terrifier 3 destroyed it. Yeah. So goodbye. What's the French goodbye? Adieu.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Adieu.
Au revoir. There you go. Or as Kelly Bundy used to say, "Arr." Scotty, do you want to do your DVDs, sir?
Yes, I do.
You ready?
Ready, Freddy.
Let's move on.
You will have an ice cream headache.
It's my favorite.
I have been introduced to an old series of films. Actually, it's not even a series of films. It's just a bunch of films who had a masterful pioneer in the original special effects. And that is one Mr. Ray Harryhausen. Bum, bum, bum.
Great films. Great films.
I have never seen any of these before. And so out of these 7 films, I have seen Jason and the Argonauts, which is in my top 10 movies of all time now, because I saw it like 2 days ago. And I saw The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, which I fell in love with Bing Crosby's wife. Beautiful packaging.
Somebody needs to make a video parody of Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger with Sinbad the comedian working out to the song.
Oh, it would be so good. It would be so good. But the thing is that The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, it is very, very good. But the next 2 Sinbad movies, which are The Golden Voyage of Sinbad and the Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, he's there for the thrill of the fight. But survival. But it's got oh my stars, what's her name? Jane Seymour.
Oh, Jane Seymour. Oh man.
I know, and it's like 1977, so it's
for
like
Medicine Woman before.
Yeah, it's hot time. So I've been plowing through these. This is a Blu-ray, and I've been really enjoying these very much. Now, I know people are going to be either for me or against me. Michael Cimino's
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate. I have never seen this before.
Why would somebody be against you?
Because people have told me that this is one of the worst films of all time. But it is a Criterion collection, and I would like to invite everyone here. I'm gonna take my trusty cigarette. Take the tip off of it. Let's open this shit up.
All right, do it.
Because I have not yet opened this, but because of the casing, the odd casing. Oh, listen to that cellophane coming off of a case. Oh, look at this monkey nuts. First things first, 2 discs. I hope I don't have to switch discs in the middle of the movie. I don't know if that's
I don't like
thing.
them when they stack it on top of each other like that. I like it when they're on 2 separate sleeves. But
no, that would be nice. That would be nice. But come on, these are the Criterion people.
Great. Yeah, that's true.
They know what they're doing.
They have a closet. They do have.
They got horses. But there's liner notes, Ben.
Let's see it.
So,
oh my goodness, looks like carcass.
It's thick. It's thick cardstock. There's so much to read if you could read. I wish I could. But it's just so fun to be able to. Oh no, this is literally just like a textbook. Here we go. Here's a stovepipe. No wonder people think this movie is boring. But I am so looking forward to it. It's got a runtime of 3.5 hours. It's from the same guy who directed The Deer Hunter.
Oh.
And I've heard that it is maligned with good reason, but maligned. And so, also, this is a movie that I attempted to watch.
Neil Marshall.
It stopped work. It is Amanda Marshall, yes.
No, Neil Marshall, the director.
Oh, it is Neil Marshall. Yeah, Doomsday. I really, really enjoy it. Right. Yes, it's Amanda Marshall.
A very interesting movie.
I really enjoy it simply because it's got Alexander Siddig and Bob Hoskins.
Well, and it's got Mia Search. I don't know how you say her name.
Marina Sirtis?
Yeah, the leak. Yeah.
I didn't see her in that.
Yeah, I think she's the main character.
Hang on a second. I have new glasses. Oh, Rona Mitra.
I always get those two confused. Yeah, Rona Mitra. Yeah. The
Fair
girl
enough.
that was the original model for Lara Croft. Yeah, who became
Holy shit, that was her. She does a good job. Did you just reset or something? Your eyes rolled into the back
There's
of
a
your head.
giant spider crawling down my wall right now.
Well,
Hello.
and then
You're cool. as long
last
as you
but
stay
not
away from me.
least,
Just stay away from me. That's all I ask. You can have the wall. I'll have my space. Anyway, what else you got, Scotty?
everybody be cool. This is a robbery.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Of course, yes. Hey, yeah. We're gonna have some parallels for sure.
I'm really proud of the fact that I have this on Blu-ray.
It's great.
So yes, that is the entirety of the buffet.
You will have an ice cream headache.
Great selection. I love that you open one. And have fun for that 3.5 hours of Heaven's Gate.
I'm going to furiously masturbate.
Before I get into my quick segment, I'll catch up on a couple of chats here. Let's see. Represent This says, I'm here for the fun, just editing. Or here for the run, just editing. It's okay if you spoil Cinema Go. We want to get you monetized. When we get closer to doing it, we'll talk about it. But thank you, though. My favorite QT movie from Black Phillip is Kill Bill. Wow, you don't get a lot of that. Kill Bill's great. I think my cut is superior, but that's just me. Can I borrow some money too, Jill?
All you got to do is get monetized, buddy.
Let's see. Your money, Jill. Okay.
Your money, Epoch.
Scotty still owes me, so
I do owe him money. It's true.
You want to read this one from RT there, Joanne?
All right. No Joke 2 does not Joker 2 does not reinforce the first film. It spits in the face of those that appreciated the first film from a DC perspective. The music is just numbers that interrupt the film.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. That's exactly what I've heard. Hey,
the only thing I can say, RT, is that if you thought that the first Joker movie was a DC movie, I think you're dumb.
I don't think that's what he's talking about. I think he's talking about the story of the movie was destroyed by the story of the second movie.
The first movie was not a DC movie.
He didn't say it was. He's talking about the
did.
Story.
He did.
No,
Spits in the face of those that appreciate the first film from a DC perspective.
Well,
I don't think that you should look at the original, that you shouldn't look at the first Joker from a DC perspective.
Okay.
That's where I think.
Well, Scotty, we have a new viewer, at least I think. Would you read this one from somebody that's here for, I think, the first time? And if I'm wrong, I apologize. Read this one, Scotty. Read it.
Hey, Chris Badwolf, good to see you. So tell me, is David Byrne's True Stories back there in that plethora of DVDs behind you? Not yet, but you do have a very good point, Chris. What is it called? I do know what it is. True Stories. I've heard it's very good. And from what I understand, it does have a Criterion.
No.
No?
I don't know. I'm kidding.
No, but I do know the movie. I've heard it's very good, and it also has John Goodman and there's another actor in there that I really, really like. So, yeah, no, I should get that. I should acquire that. Thank you, Chris. Oh, Swoozy Kurtz. You sold me at Swoozy Kurtz. I do know that name, and I do know that actress, and she is actually very, very good.
So, Scotty, at the beginning of, a few months ago when we knew that Terrifier and Joker were going to be released, would you have ever guessed that out of those two clowns, the one who's winning would be winning?
No,
right? It's a clown face off. I can't believe that other people didn't. And RT says he's saying, Scotty, as Joker being a character, not.
But that's the problem, is that we're not really dealing with Joker because it's not Joker.
Well, I think that's
it's Arthur. It's Arthur. No, but that was established in the first movie, and I think that's why people didn't go back. Is when they saw the first movie, it was standalone and it was good enough. And the next one, if you have a sequel to the Joker and there is no Batman, we're done.
I did hear that the second one has Harvey Dent. I heard that, but
so the fuck what? Two-Face isn't in
Scotty,
it.
hey, don't bite my head off. I'm just saying.
I'm not biting your head off. I'm just like, but the first movie was not a Batman movie, so I don't understand why people are expecting the second one to be a Batman movie.
Right.
All right. Let's move on.
I'll stop saying that. I've said it like 4 times.
To the topic of the night. I want to get into some Pulp Fiction, but first.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so I've got my vinyl selections for tonight. I had to bring them out. I had to find them. I mean, it's very clear what I'm going to show. I have a Pulp Fiction special edition here. It's a great record. I mean, we all know the soundtrack. I still need to do a film and vinyl on it. I just haven't done it yet.
Oh, I didn't realize you've never done one.
Not one on Pulp Fiction, but then we got Reservoir Dogs, another great soundtrack. It's actually, I heard this soundtrack before I heard Pulp Fiction because, well, the movie came out first. Some great tracks on that one.
Fool for Love.
Then we get into the really cool shit I got from Dusk Till Dawn, a special edition horror set, and I was feeling kind of flimsy. I'm guessing one of my vinyl is somewhere else and not in here.
It's on the turntable.
Great ZZ Top stuff on here. Just so much great stuff. Yeah, Tito and the Totalanos or whatever, like the Leftovers. Jimmy Vaughn, great stuff on from Dusk Till Dawn. And then this one is very interesting. My buddy Josh got this for me for my birthday a couple years ago. It's Tarantino. It's called the Tarantino Experience, and it's the ultimate tribute to Quentin Tarantino movie music that's not in his movies, but it feels like it should be. So you have like songs from Johnny Cash. You got songs from Lobo, Joe Cocker, Guy Mitchell, Screaming Lord Sutch. There's so much interesting stuff on here, and when you listen to it, it's kind of like a conversation piece because none of the songs are featured in Tarantino movies. They just have that flavor of a Tarantino movie, if that makes sense. So much so that they made an entire record on it and put it out in a 2-disc set, and it's pretty cool. So if anybody hasn't seen this, it's called the Tarantino Experience, and it's not from an individual artist because it's a collaborative effort. It's old songs that just are basically songs that haven't been in a Tarantino movie yet, but maybe will one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
So pretty cool record though. Yeah. All those ones are great. I know I could have sworn I had Jackie Brown, but I can't find it. But you know what?
Oh, I love it.
I go through those pretty quick, just go through those. So yeah, let's move on. Tarantino, made his first film in film school called My Best Friend's Birthday. I still have yet to see it. Me and John have been looking for it for a while because we want to do a first of the best on it, but I guess it's not a full length feature. It's black and white.
How long is it?
I'm not sure. See, that's the thing. I don't think he's released it because he's talked about it in his book. So I'm not sure if he's proud of it or not. But most people consider Reservoir Dogs to be his first film. And we don't want to do a first of the best just on Reservoir Dogs because everyone's pretty much seen that at this point. But let's get into Tarantino's spirit here, shall we?
You gotta have an opinion. I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped?
Oh, what the fuck's happening? Oh,
man.
shit, man.
Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Why the fuck you do that?
One must have gone over a bump.
One of the gnarliest scenes in any movie just happens out of absolutely fucking nowhere. Oh God, I want to go around the panel here. Pulp Fiction. Let's go ahead and start with Scotty on Pulp Fiction. 30th anniversary, by the way, everybody. 30 years. I got a story to tell about this movie, but I'll wait till it's my turn. Scotty, what do you think of this?
Why don't you start?
Well, you and I haven't talked about this one, even on Phantasmagorium or anything yet. I know you guys did one on Pulp Fiction, but I wasn't there for that one. So
this is one of those movies that I was terrified of when it came out in the theaters. I was of age I was 16 years old. I could see it in the movie theater, and I was scared of it. A friend of mine told me we should go see it. I did, and it blew the back off of my skull. I saw it. I loved it. I went and I investigated Reservoir Dogs, and I have been, for lack of a better term, an acolyte of Tarantino ever since. Is it my favorite Tarantino movie? Well, at the time, it sure was.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joanne.
Well, yeah, I feel the same way. I think, when it first came out, it was just so mind blowing, and that was at the time that was really all I knew of Tarantino, because I thought that was just like it got huge. Everybody was talking about it, and it has memorable scenes that you'll never forget. Although I would like to revisit the movie as a whole now, because it's been so long, so there's a lot of details that I've forgotten, but. Certain scenes just stick with you. But as far as my favorite Tarantino film, I do have some that are above it, including Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of my favorites.
Great. That's great.
That one is just, and it's also fresher in my mind. So, that's why another reason why I'd like to revisit Pulp Fiction again. But Once Upon a Time was just like the acting. I mean, those were just like award-winning acting scenes in that movie. It was just that really blew my mind. So yeah.
Well, and just to speak to that, Joanne, up until Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Jackie Brown was my favorite. And then after Jackie Brown, like, I liked Kill Bill. But then I go to Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a moment. I was watching that movie and I was like, are they actually going to kill Hitler? And then
that movie is pure cinema. It's like the best of everything. There's action, there's violence, there's romance, there's amazing dialogue, there's tension. It's got fucking everything in Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, and so does Pulp Fiction. I almost consider like Inglourious Bastards like Pulp Fiction in the 40s, I mean, not from story perspective, but from the way he decided to kind of tell the story, because it's told these different segments here and there, various segments and stuff. So
when Inglourious Bastards became the Let's Kill Hitler movie, I really enjoyed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because it was like, let's save Sharon Tate. And that's what I loved about that movie. I think that is the closest you will ever get to Quentin Tarantino doing a Disney movie.
And when it first came out and people were like, well, he wants to retell this, it's so tasteless, he wants to do this Charles Manson story, and then you find out, no, he's telling the story on how we all wish it would have happened.
Let's just save Sharon Tate.
Two guys on drugs just annihilating and decapitating the Manson
and
family.
Flamethrowering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and caving one's head in on a fireplace mantle.
But I would say,
and a dog eating one's balls off. It's like, that's what we all wish had happened,
But when it comes to cinema, I would say that Pulp Fiction blew my mind. Killing Hitler, Inglourious Bastards made me go like, you can do that? And then when I went to go see the Charles Manson movie, which is essentially what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was marketed as. And then I showed up and it was like, you know what? All the bad guys are going to die. And it was like, you're serious? This is the best. So, like, every time I walk into a movie with Quentin Tarantino, I'm always just like, I cannot believe you did what you did, and I'm so thankful that you did it.
Yeah, now that I think about it, when I say that's cinema, so is Kill Bill, so is Jackie Brown, like all his movie, like I don't like Django so much, but I can see why people do. That. Yeah, that's kind of my least favorite, but I still get.
Oh no, Hateful Eight sucks.
Oh, see, I'm a huge Hateful Eight guy, but anyway,
really, why?
Well, we already did this on your channel.
So try it again.
No, I spent like 2 hours with you guys talking about why I love Hateful Eight. I'm here to talk about.
Well, give me the Reader's Digest.
By the way,
of it.
I'm wearing a Big Kahuna Burger T-shirt in honor of Pulp Fiction. Thank you very much.
Hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast. Big Kahuna Burger. That's that Hawaiian burger joint. I hear they got some tasty burgers. This is a tasty burger.
This is a tasty burger. That's always been my favorite line in the movie for no apparent reason other than how Samuel L. Jackson delivers it. And every line he delivers in this movie, I don't know why he was up for Best Supporting Actor. He actually has way more dialogue than John Travolta, who was up for Best Actor. But it doesn't matter because neither of them won, and I'm okay with that because Martin Landau won for Ed Wood that year. That's I can't argue with that. But so with my history of Pulp Fiction, my brother's friend showed me Reservoir Dogs when I was a sophomore in high school, and I didn't know who directed it. I was just too young to. I mean, I cared about directors back then. I paid attention to Tony Scott and Ridley Scott, James Cameron, all that stuff. But I didn't know who directed it. I just knew that like it blew my mind. Reservoir Dogs was like, I've never seen anything like this movie before. I guess I was 15 or 16. And then the following year, which was 2 years after Reservoir Dogs, I was at my buddy's house whose mother was an Academy member for something to do with makeup or something, but she was a voter. And we got to see this cut of a movie called Pulp Fiction that was about 3 hours long. And it had scenes in it that still to this day, I've never seen on any director's cut or anything. And I remember those scenes vividly. Joanne Bobak was the guy. His mom was part of the Academy. I remember we all watched that in his living room, and some of the funniest scenes that we saw in that never made the theatrical cut.
Wow.
There's if you remember when they have to take off their clothes and get sprayed down by the wolf and then put on other clothes, but you just see this fade to black. It fades to black because there's this scene where they're arguing about who should wear what shirt. And if you're following the movie the whole time, like Jules just is thinking Vincent's the biggest idiot because he shot Marvin, and he's just like, man, I'm using the same damn towel you did, but when I finished, it didn't look like no goddamn maxi pad. Yeah. So there's a shirt that says "I'm with stupid," and Jules goes, "I definitely want the I'm with stupid shirt." It was such a funny line. I wish they had just left that in there. Because if you notice, for the rest of the movie, Jules is wearing a shirt that says "I'm with stupid," like very small.
I didn't notice.
You can't really see it unless you've seen that scene. It's hard to see it.
Wow.
But yeah, I remember we got to see that, and way before it came out in theaters. Like this was a cut of the movie that wasn't even at festivals yet, you know? So then when we saw it in the theater, I don't know if any of us remembered the scenes that were cut out or not. I remember that one scene because that scene to me was like the funniest scene in the movie. But yeah, the movie blew me away, and I was never a huge Roger Avery fan, and Roger Avery co-wrote the movie with Tarantino. Roger Avery specifically wrote the Butch stuff, which arguably can be considered some of the most entertaining parts of the movie, but it's also a lot darker and more disturbing in a sexual manner, like a just very uncomfortable way. What I mean
But
by
also
butch is
some of
like
the most romance.
well, I mean, yes, with Fabian and stuff. But I'm talking more like what happens to them once they get to like Zed and Maynard's place, and it just goes full blown somewhere you never thought it would go.
what about the taxi driver?
Oh yeah, no, all that stuff was Roger Avery like story credit stuff. I mean, Tarantino
But
was
that's also like, and yeah, no, the butt fucking is part of the reason why I was afraid of the movie in the first place. The gimp, but like, a horrible sex slave in a trunk. Of course, this was very disturbing. But the thing is that you are lulled into everything. And then it just, black holes.
Well, if I could finish really quickly.
I refuse.
When I said that I wasn't the biggest Roger Avery fan, that stuff turned out to be some of my favorite parts of the movie. Specifically when you have a mafia or a mob boss, Marcellus Wallace, played by the great Ving Rhames, getting completely won-overed and screwed over by Butch. And then because of this incident that happens, they find a common ground because Butch goes back and saves them. Not because he wants to save his own hide. He knows this guy is dead. He goes back to save him because it's the right thing to do. Because he doesn't want another guy getting raped and then murdered. Even though he's not the greatest dude. He just killed a guy in the boxing ring. But I love that stuff. And that's some like humanity to Pulp Fiction, where when you get into some of the more cartoonish characters, Lance, I fucking love Lance. Lance. Give me Lance all day, baby.
Carry out. Here, I'll tell you what to do. No, man. I ain't give you're gonna give it a shot. No, you're gonna give it a shot. I ain't giving it a shot. I never done this before. I ain't never done it before either, all right? I ain't starting now. Look, you brought it here, and that means that you're gonna give it a shot.
That's
one of the scenes.
That's the most comedic scene in the whole movie. And I next time I bring an ODing bitch to your house, then I'll give her the shot. That's the funniest scene in the movie for sure. But it's played.
I want to give a big shout out to Joe Dog. Thank you for being here.
Oh, where's Joe Dog? Hey, well, there you go. What up, Joe Dog? What up? My favorite film of all time, Pulp Fiction. There you go. Right on, brother. Right on. Chris Badwolf says Jackie Brown is the ultimate Quentin Tarantino movie. I have to agree with that.
I can't argue. I love it so much that I'm not going to put up a fight.
Yeah, I'm not going to put up a fight either. I fucking adore that movie. My girlfriend, when I was in film school, like just got so annoyed by how much I would put on that movie. Cause it's a lot of people call Once Upon a Time in Hollywood his hangout movie. Jackie Brown is a fucking hangout movie. Every single scene is people hanging out in a bar, drinking screwdrivers, or hanging out in the mall, drinking soda or coffee. It's such a hangout movie with this great heist that Elmore Leonard wrote. And that's another thing I love about it. It shows that Tarantino can adapt a really great.
But also Jackie Brown is about getting old.
Getting old?
Getting old.
No, I know. I said this before.
And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is about sort of putting off getting old.
Well, yeah, no, that's a great.
It's about keeping the youth and innocence.
Jackie Brown,
that's why I like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Jackie Brown is accepting.
Brown is about reaching your mid-40s and realizing you haven't done anything or made any kind of mark or money or whatever. Yours truly, right here. No, it is. You agreed with me.
No, it's not.
On your show. Yeah, dude, you loved what I said about it when I was on your show. But hold on, let me finish. Because Jackie, she gets to that certain age where she starts to feel irrelevant, and like, they're like, "Wow, you didn't really set the world on fire, did you, Jackie? You make what, $10,000 a year?" Like, so she takes this opportunity to make some kind of mark in her life, financially and just like iconically. And the thing about Once Upon a Time is it's about somebody who does have everything and was super famous. And now, like, do they keep it, or like, are they depressed that it's going away? And I think Leonardo does such a great job when he's talking to that little girl about that whole thing. And that little girl was great in that scene, by the way.
Oh, for sure. But like, I think that in Jackie Brown, it's a matter of both Jackie and Cherry have sort of gone over the hill, and they are accepting what they've done or how they've lived. And then the Ordell Robbie situation presents itself. And so that they, like, Jackie takes care of it, and Max Cherry does sort of facilitate it. But it's much more about accepting how far you've gone and what you can still do. But when it comes to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's we can be young forever. And that's how I feel about, like, I love them both. I love them both.
Everybody watching this stream, go to the Phantasmagorium show and look at their review of Jackie Brown. What I said about this movie, he was coming over. he did a head tilt. He goes, "Whoa, yeah." Like, he literally did like a second take on how right I was, and now he's saying I'm wrong.
And but also, if you are a fan of the Phantasmagorium show and you are a fan of Cinema Gulp, I would also like to introduce you to my contradictory statements.
Yes.
I don't care about what I've said previously, but I think that I am entertaining.
Yeah, there was another movie that you said you liked and then didn't like, that John pointed out. I think it was one of the Alien films.
It was I think it was a Terminator one.
You know,
I love Terminator 2 the best. Yeah.
You know,
and John was
Scotty,
like,
though?
"Didn't you say you loved Terminator 1?" And I was like, "That was yesterday."
He's so self-aware of it, though. You gotta love him for it.
As long as you know.
I'm the same way. Like, if you call me out on something, I'll double up on it and go, "Yep, I was totally full of shit." Hey, really quickly, I want to look at. We got a nice poll going here. I started at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
Let's end the poll. So I put this up right at the beginning of the show. I'm happy to see we got 13 votes. I wrote if Pulp Fiction is your favorite QT film. I meant is Pulp Fiction. I thought I QC'd that, but I guess I didn't. Is Pulp Fiction your favorite QT film? 53% said no. 46% said yes. And obviously 0% said I haven't seen it, because everyone's seen Pulp Fiction. That's interesting. Yeah, because it's not my favorite anymore. I battle between Jackie Brown and Inglourious Bastards. Oh. Maybe that's because of time. Obviously, when I saw Pulp Fiction, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. But it wasn't, because a Pulp Fiction script that I think is the best Pulp Fiction, a QT script, which I still think is the best script he's ever written, was directed by Tony Scott, and that's True Romance. I will always hold True Romance above all of the QT movies, because QT wrote it, but my favorite director of all time directed it, and that movie's perfection. I love True Romance. I still think it's his best dialogue-driven script. But when it comes to QT written and directed movies, it's Jackie Brown, and it's like Inglourious Bastards, because Inglourious Bastards is so perfect. It's so great. It's just wonderful. It just covers so many things. And I love how there's, and that rooted out, like, I don't want to say normies, but it ruled out people that were like, what is this? Why is so much of this movie spoken in French, or why is this movie spoken in German? It's like, well, because Tarantino is not going to have these people speak in English when they wouldn't be speaking English. He's not going to do that. So you have to get with the program, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get with the program. Let's see, we got another.
If anybody's going to get you into subtitles, it's going to be Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I mean, reading Tarantino's dialogue is just as fun as hearing it, to be honest.
Hey, man, I got it right here. And it's got a highlighter. But yeah, I've been going through Cinema Speculation, and sorry, I'm going to do my best to try and flip through this, but like all of this is just me highlighting the movies that he has mentioned, and I've been like, I have to see this movie. I have to see this movie.
Wow.
And you go through it, and you're like, this is, and as I think I mentioned it before, is that this is a fucking textbook. I want to see the movies, and I'm only highlighting the ones that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my God. It's fascinating to hear his speculation, even to the point where I'm writing down, like, he's like, these movies were boring. I didn't like them. And I'm like, okay, well, I still have to see them.
So I have this
find out whether or not I have poorer taste.
I have this book called Quentin Tarantino, The Man and His Movies, which came out in 1996 by Jamie Bernard, before he's hardly done any movies yet.
Wow.
And it's not an autobiography, it's a biography of her. And it does talk about my best friend's birthday in here, which is kind of interesting. But he doesn't really like the book. But you know him, he's a complicated, very hard to deal with.
But no one understands him but his woman.
Yeah. Well, and feet. You know.
But I'm talking about Shaft.
Oh, sorry. You guys take over for 1 second. I'll be right back. Something just
I was going to go have a smoke.
No, you can when I get back. This is how it works, Scotty. Something just fell. I got to make sure my cat didn't break something. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
All
Cookie broke something.
But like, there really isn't a bad Quentin Tarantino movie. Like, I even love Death Proof.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like, I think Death Proof is one of the best car chase movies of all time.
Yeah, no, that was fun. That was what were the others that came out with it?
It was what, like the Grindhouse?
Yes.
I think it was Planet Terror.
That's right, Planet Terror.
Which was goofy fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
And I had an opportunity to see the Grindhouse in a theater twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw it in the theater. Just once, though. But yes.
Yeah, no, exactly. I needed a girlfriend at the time. But
find one at the theater.
Afterwards. I found one afterwards.
Oh, good.
Thank you. She broke up with me. So anyway, yeah, no, like I am a huge Tarantino fan. I'm really looking forward to whatever he does next. There was some talk. Now, I'm a big Star Trek fan. There was a little bit of talk, and thankfully this has been debunked, but they were saying that he was going to do a Star Trek movie, and I was like, please, no.
Yeah. Isn't there also talk that he's only going to do like one more film or something like that?
That is the plan.
Well, that's what he said at first, but then the movie he was going to do that was already cast and in pre-production, which was called The Movie Critic, which I'm glad he's not making. He said, no, I don't want to make that. I'm going to do that later. I'm glad he chose not to, because honestly, you guys, I think he's going to wait till the technology's perfect, get with James Cameron, and he's finally going to make Vincent and Vic by de-aging John Travolta and Michael Madsen, reprise their roles from Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs, and make Vincent and Vic finally. That's probably not going to be his last movie, but man, that'd be awesome.
You are being facetious, are you not?
Yeah, I am being facetious, but tell me you wouldn't love to see that. Not with the de-aging, but had they made that in like 96, 97, that could have been fucking rad.
No.
Yeah, well, anyway.
So I can go smoke now?
Sure.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Get out of here, you son of a gun.
So, Ben, did Cookie break anything or not?
No, she didn't break anything. She's just being annoying tonight. She's been weird all week. I don't know why.
No, she's a cat.
Yeah. But she's not usually a weird cat, but she's being a weird cat. But
yeah.
You know. So so everybody,
I want you to go in that bag and find my wallet.
Which one is it?
It's the one that says bad motherfucker. That's it.
See, Joanne, you have to go back and rewatch this movie from beginning to end because
I will.
it's literally like a movie that Tarantino, like, yeah, he wanted it to be an LA street crime story, but it's so religious, like so much. I mean, Jules' entire character is based on like Ezekiel 25:17, the psalm that he reads at a certain point in the movie before he shoots somebody 15 times. But it really is like one of those movies where everything in it's like it starts as a Greek tragedy, but then it kind of ends itself like on a happy note. And you're like, wow, that was really interesting. These people went through the ringer. Like the whole scene with like Vincent and Mia, where she snorts heroin on accident,
Yeah.
high grain, like German heroin.
I remember that part.
And dies. And then
Yeah.
they bring her back to life. Like all that stuff, like this was like kind of the only movie I think where Tarantino really used like religious symbolism and like Greek tragedy. Well, he probably used that in other things too, but it's so fascinating. The first time you watch it, you're just like, wow, this is an interesting movie with a lot of interesting scenes. And the next time you watch it, you're like, wow, this dialogue is great. Then the next time you watch it, you're like, wow, man, this is like one of the most brilliant movies I've ever seen. And the next time you watch it, you're like, this nonlinear structure cannot be competed with. And then the next time you watch it, you're like, wow, there's like religious symbolism in there. This is
No, I remember being amazing. I remember, like I said, like certain scenes stuck with me and everything. You know, once enough time has passed after a movie, I don't always remember details, but I do remember how I felt about it.
Yeah.
You know, it was an amazing film.
I know how you felt about
it. Exactly like that.
Well, except maybe the female version of that, whatever that was. While Scotty's gone, I'm going to catch up with the comments. If anybody has anything to say, not a lot of Pulp Fiction talk here. We haven't had any activity in a little bit, so I think we're all caught up. So I want to move on before we end. So I think we got about maybe 18 minutes left. So starting next week, and then the week after next is the night before Halloween. So we're going to have a big Halloween blowout show. Hopefully I'm going to get some cool guests on and we'll bullshit with them and stuff too. All things horror. But this is an easy one because this is right in the middle, Joanne, of the Halloween month. You, me, Josh, like this month means a lot to us. Like I don't take any day for granted. I try to find something spooky outside. I watch at least one horror movie every single day. I try to write something or do something for the channel or whatever that's Halloween based. So with it being the middle of the month, mid Halloween, what are some of your go-to movies that you would watch once you start getting into the spirit? Because I got a bunch. And
so I've actually been watching a lot of new movies off my list the last year or so.
Yeah, me too.
So mainly I've already started watching new ones, but first your question was a go-to, and I actually have the same answer as I did on the Tim Burton night, which is Nightmare Before Christmas, even though he didn't direct it. That is just, one of my Halloween and Christmas.
Hey, real quick. Thank you, DJ Play Nice. Thank you for being here. And thank you for the very first super chat of all time.
Yeah.
Love you so much for that, man. Love you.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Sorry, Joanne. I had to.
No. Yeah, he was leaving. So
yeah.
Got to say goodbye. All right. Yeah. So that's as far as a go-to. But I've been watching, new ones. So not new films, but new to me, that stuff I haven't seen. So last night I watched Nightbreed, the Clive Barker.
I got a big framed poster of Nightbreed in my living room.
Oh, nice. I didn't remember that. It's really cool. Like that. I was amazed by the creativity and the makeup and costumes and everything, all those effects on all those characters. I mean, such a wide
Clive
array.
Barker, man. Clive Barker.
Yeah. There were a couple of like characters that were maybe slightly lame looking, but most of them.
Yeah, there's like. I agree with you. And some of the acting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an older, man. It's a nice little love story as well on top of it and everything.
Well, I love it that there's this entire world that lives like it's underneath like a cemetery, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
It's like that. What
Right,
do they call
Midian.
the world? It's like Median.
Median.
Median,
Mhm.
yeah. I love that. I love the lore and all that stuff. I gotta
Yeah.
pull the picture off my wall and show you. But it's so well balanced.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there he
Let me
is.
see. I'm gonna pull it off. You keep talking about it.
Oh, okay, we were talking about a Nightbreed, Scotty. I don't know if you've ever seen Nightbreed, the Clive Barker.
No, but I am familiar with Clyde Barker.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
no,
it about? How is it?
It was awesome. It's actually like a very unique love story. Oh, that one. That's the
Yeah.
poster.
It's autographed by the artist.
Oh, delicious.
Very cool. I remember
Sounds like
that
fun.
poster.
Yeah,
I didn't
no, it's
realize
not a poster. It's not a poster.
Oh,
It's a
sorry.
It's a print.
Yeah. I did not realize it was
That's
a
one of the
night.
coolest looking characters in the movie, though. The chick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, she was cool
I
looking.
Looks like my mom.
balance this on the wall.
And I didn't realize, Ben, if you can still hear me, I didn't realize it was like because it's an older film and it was a metaphor for like the LGBT community. I didn't know that.
I
had
didn't know
never-
that.
Oh,
till
you're
you
gonna
just said it.
love It Follows. It's about AIDS.
So it's a little different than that.
right.
But yeah, I read that and I watched the film first and then found that out and I was like, oh, I didn't notice it when I was watching the film, but that is part of it. That's a big part of it. So that was
I
pretty
didn't know.
cool.
I didn't know that either. I just thought it was more like an allegory for like outcasts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I guess
Right.
playing
At the
the
time,
same thing. Yeah, for sure.
initially, yes. So
But
Well,
really
that's what the X-Men
really
is
inventive.
about. The X-Men is about LGBT.
Well, yeah, 100%. Yeah. But that's a great
So-
one. That's a great one.
So that was a good one I watched last night, and then the previous night, as you know, I watched the Changeling.
Ooh.
That was a great one. Did you see it, Scotty?
No, but I've heard.
I watch
of
it every year. I watched it.
And-
I watched it over the weekend. I watch it.
You did?
We reviewed it. Yeah, it's fucking great.
Yeah, you reviewed it. It's
George
it was
C. Scott,
scary.
baby.
I love George C. Scott. I've been seeing films with him. As you know, like that Exorcist one. He didn't do as much yelling in this one, but he was still good.
It is not in the file.
That's my favorite thing ever.
Turn it off. Oh, there's a fucking apparent and okay, we'll get to George C. Scott later, please.
Is there anybody else in the hallway?
There's one called I forget what it's called, but it's about like snuff films.
Super 8?
No,
not Super 8.
It's Super 8. It is Super 8, but it is with George C. Scott,
8mm.
and it's no, right, not Super 8. Super 8 was the E.T. ripoff.
8mm about snuff porns. Yeah.
Yeah, 8mm was the one about snuff porn, and then oh my god, I forget. There's one with George C. Scott, and it's about it is about snuff films, and he does it's our friend of the channel, Terrier. He knows it. He's seen it recently. I really want to see it, and I forget what it's called.
With George
Damn
C.
it.
Scott, and he died in 1999, I think. Right? He died in 1990.
Was it 99? Yeah, that sounds right.
So
That sounds right.
obviously an older movie. I know. It was
Oh.
Patton. Patton was about snuff.
No, Patton was in the 70s, you son of a bitch. I'm derailing the kookiness of this conversation. But it was a movie about murder and whatever. And he does such a great job. I love George C. Scott. He brings the intensity, but one of the reasons that he can bring the intensity is because he does bring the humanity of it. He can be world weary. He can be flippant and sarcastic, charming even. When you see George C. Scott in a movie, some lady is going to be taken by George C. Scott, as they should be.
Or man.
Oh, really?
Well, I'll tell you.
I've never seen George C. Scott have sex with a man.
My
Yet.
go-tos I've talked about a million times on the channel. I've brought them up
Yes.
on the Twitter X stuff. It's always going to be Session 9, Madhouse, which is great, underrated slasher movie, The Thing. But this year, even though I've seen one or two of them before, I decided to go on a binge of the Hatchet movies. And they are just so much fun.
That's on my list too for this
They're
year.
more like horror comedies. None of them are going to really like frighten you. It's just this big, dumb, like lughead, it's almost like a Leatherface, but comedic, killing people in very gruesome ways with a really like eccentric animated cast of characters in every one of the movies. It's just a delight. It's really fun. And it's in the swamps of the bayou. So it's a very different kind of Halloween type of vibe.
That's cool.
It always takes place on Halloween night, but it's in like the swamps of the bayou, and it's just they're just so much fun, and they're written and directed by I know his name because I watch his YouTube channel. Let me look it up.
Carl Reiner.
Rob Reiner. Actually, James L. Brooks. Oh my God, I love this guy's YouTube
Albert
channel.
Brooks. No.
Let's see. Oh, and the interesting thing is like the Hatchet franchise turned out to be sort of like a Danielle Harris franchise, because after the first movie, she took over in part 2 and so on and stuff like that. And if you don't know who Danielle Harris is, she played Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4 and 5, and she played Annie in the Rob Zombie Halloween. She's a scream queen.
Danielle Harris was
she was Bruce Willis's daughter.
Bruce Willis's daughter in The Last Boy Scout.
And I've had she's exactly my age, and I've had the biggest crush
She's gonna
on her
be in
life.
Niagara Falls soon.
Okay.
I kind of want to go and get my copy of The Last Boy Scout signed.
So all the Hatchet movies are written and directed by Adam Green, and if you don't know who that is, he's got a really, really funny YouTube channel where he does these like horror sleepovers where he gets celebrities to come into his house. They get sleeping bags. They watch horror movies. They do popcorn, and he finds interesting ways to kind of fuck with them. It's a really funny YouTube channel.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's a lot of fun. I think he's been on Rob's channel a few times. I think
Who's Rob?
RMB. I think he knows him.
Robert Meyer Burnett, director of Free Enterprise. Yes, I'm familiar with him. Friend of the channel.
I talked to him last Friday, actually.
You were talking about that there Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
I've still never seen it. That's why I didn't show up.
So those are my go-tos are it's
Joanne, have you ever seen it?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yes.
The original.
Yes.
I've never seen it.
Wow.
It's glorious. It's glorious on the big screen.
So Joanne, do you think I'm a pussy?
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
But not because of that.
Not because of that. There are so many other reasons, but thank you for adding one.
Ding dong! Ding dong!
So Scotty, we're gonna go to you, and then we're gonna call it a night. Like some go-to horror movies in the month of October there in Canada. Like, what do you? Because the weather's probably getting chilly. It's feeling fall.
Oh, it's fucking cold. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you like to warm
and
up?
it's only gonna get colder.
Drink some hot cocoa with some little whiskey inside of it.
The Fletch movies. No, but like when it comes to horror movies, I'm not really all that taken by the supernatural. I don't really care about slashers. I find them entertaining, but I don't get scared by them. I don't get disturbed by them. And so that's why I really liked your Halloween mixer for today with Black Swan, which was much more of a psychological thriller. You did bring up, and it was another one of my favorite ones, is Requiem for a Dream. That, I think, is one of the scariest horror movies.
It's edited like a horror movie. It's edited like a
Oh my God. And you know what? The first time I ever saw that, I was stoned. I nearly died.
No.
Oh yeah.
That movie's already
Oh my
anxiety.
God. I was like, I'm gonna watch a horror movie or I'm gonna watch a fucking art movie, whatever. It didn't matter. I was terrified.
Student film.
Yeah, exactly. I put myself in a bathtub full of ice cubes. And then
fuck that movie, man.
oh my God. Exactly. It is a movie that is so amazing. Like, I think Seven is a horror movie.
It is. Totally.
And that one is one that whenever I watch it, I have to be in a mood and I have to be like, I have to steel myself towards it. When I saw Mulholland Drive,
total horror movie.
That is a movie about having everything taken away from you and then you fuck up. Like, these are the movies that really, like, I don't care about, oh no, someone's going to stab me in the neck. Thanks, Kevin Bacon. I
kind of agree with you on that. I mean, I like those ones because they're just like fun, dumb stuff. But I'm way more with you where I'd rather watch a double feature of, because I think, what about
Mother? I've never seen Mother.
I hate
that's
that.
another Darren Aronofsky.
That was my least favorite movie of 2017. But what's that David Lynch movie with Robert Loggia and
Lost Highway.
So Lost Highway and Mulholland Drive are almost like companion movies.
Sure.
Because they feature this, they bring up the same kind of concept. Whereas, like, can somebody be at the same place at the same time and why and how, you know, like, so those two movies together, even though I think Mulholland Drive is way better than Lost Highway, but,
well, and even if you go to Fire Walk with Me, Fire Walk with Me is a movie that it's like, this is a Twin Peaks movie and you walk into it and you've seen all of Twin Peaks and then you watch Fire Walk with Me and you're like, what?
It shows you everything you already knew. Laura Palmer's killer.
No, but it just gets
her dad.
It is the definition of a metal concert that just gets more intense and more intense, and it doesn't make any more sense the more it goes on. And then at the end of it, it's basically just a strobe light going, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" And then it's like, all right, like it is fucked.
Yeah, I love it. I love
me too.
I mean, honestly, you know, Blue Velvet, one of my favorite movies of all time, is kind of a horror movie. It's pretty fucking frightening, you know? Yeah. I mean, there's a shot where a guy's sitting in a closet, scared for his life, watching some crazy shit go on. So,
yeah,
David Lynch.
You want a horror movie? Watch Eraserhead.
You want a horror movie? Watch The Straight Story.
No, I love The Straight Story.
I'm kidding. No, but of course, Eraserhead is a complete.
I like old men with mustaches.
Eraserhead is meant to be a fucking horror student film, but even Wild at Heart, where it has all that all that imagery from Wizard of Oz and stuff with the Wicked Witch and stuff, yeah, and it's got Nicolas Cage doing spin kicks and then having sex with Laura Dern from behind in the same scene. It's really wild. So anyway, we about reached our time. This is it. I think I think people are dropping off anyway. Guys, I'm going to let everybody do a round here. First, Represent This was on earlier. He's been awesome enough to let me be a part of his 4-part Predator 2 video where he's going to give me a segment to talk about one of my favorite 45-minute scenes in any movie, which is the last 45 minutes of Predator 2. Which is just a big, awesome chase scene. He's going to let me write a script, throw in some visuals on one of his videos, and he's got a lot of subs, and he's really determined to get me more subs. So I'll let you guys know when that comes out. And
I love you so much, and I trust your opinion of Predator 2, and I love Predator 2.
And we just dropped a video this morning of, like Scotty said, Black Swan, which is the first episode of the Halloween Mixer. We have 2 more mixers coming up, one on classic horror and one on body horror. We won't say what movies yet. And then later in the month, right before Halloween, me and Ben have a Flights and Flicks episode, which is on horror remakes, and he chose the 1991 Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead, and I chose the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to have some great beers to discuss on that one.
Oh my God, those are two great movies.
They are.
That you haven't seen. You haven't seen it.
I've seen both of those movies, Joanne. Thank you.
I know. I had never seen the Tom Savini Night of the Living Dead, and I loved it. Tony Todd.
Oh no, but who's the lady?
I don't know her name, but
I remember
she's great
her
in
name.
it, though.
She is great.
Scotty, what do you got coming up, sir?
Well, if you want to find me, I'm always over on the Phantasmagorium show. I think that we're going to be talking about The Wolfman tomorrow. We've already talked about The Phantom of the Opera over on the Phantasmagorium. Me and my good friend Sly Snide on X, and Kat. Do we just call her Kat? And we've talked about Phantom of the Opera, Dracul, The Invisible Man, and we're doing The Wolfman, and we're gonna. Did we do anybody else? I don't know yet. And so we've done a bunch of stuff. And then also, did I say Anti-Derivative Jill's?
Not
I'm
yet.
over there, and I'm helping her with fucking Hogwarts of all things. Joanne, I fell in love with Harry Potter.
Oh yes, I know about that.
She invited me to every one of those, and I haven't been able to make a single one of them because work. It's just 10 a.m. on Friday. It's fucking hard. It's hard.
I know. I hang out with housewives.
No, I want to
go.
I missed talking about my favorite one, which was Goblet of Fire. So now, like she says,
it was
3 left.
Good.
I love Goblet of Fire, so hopefully I can get there for one of them. But Jill's show, Scotty's always awesome on it, and I love watching these Harry Potter shows with on Jill's channel because Scotty had never seen them before, and he hates fantasy shit, and I love watching him like love these movies. And some of the panel people like, I don't believe you, Scotty. Like Tiger Stripes, who
I've always had a problem with sincerity. It's like, no, I mean it. I do like it.
Yeah. Hey, Represent This is still here. Yeah, I let the cat out of the bag, brother. I just thought it was great that you let me on. So good night. Yeah, man. We'll be in touch. I'll call you tomorrow, sir, and we'll continue on with that journey. I'm just so excited that you let me do that. Big things for CG. Big things. Next thing you know, we'll have I don't know, Tommy Wiseau on. You never know.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
He's way too big now. He's way too big.
What about Booger? I thought we were getting Booger.
We might get Booger.
You know what? We're not going to get Booger if we refer to the man Curtis as Booger.
No, but we were the reason Sky's bringing that up is because we were supposed to get the chick that plays Tina in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, and she, a friend of mine said he could get her on, and she just said she doesn't. She just recently stopped doing podcasts, and I said, well, you could tell her it's not a podcast; it's a YouTube show, and she said same thing.
Yeah,
so I guess we caught her the 1 year that she's done. Like, talking about her role in that movie. God damn it.
I was going to ask her about when she was on Growing Pains.
I was going to ask her about Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Good night.
She's never going to be on now.
She wasn't going to be on anyway, man. It's all.